When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech4Troops. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech4Troops, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
Welcome, everyone, to the Tech4Troops Michigan 100. This is our last race in this first round of 12. Thank you for joining us here on the IWM Broadcast Network. I am Rick Souza, joined here by my co-host each week, John DeRudris. And John, this should be an exciting race. We're here at Michigan. We haven't been here before.
No, it's going to be a very good race, and a lot of drivers are on that cutoff line to make it into the next round of the playoffs. You know, there's a lot of guys that are out here looking for their first win of the season, you know, more or less trying to find their way into the round of 8. One driver that we already know is locked in is the 25 of Hermes Castro, but one guy looking in right now is this number 21 of Ian Ogden. He is sitting 5th in the standings, looking to get a strong run here at Michigan. Now, another player that we need to consider, Mike Sladker, has missed the first 2 races of the playoffs. Could Sladker pull off a absolute stunner and come out and win? Possibly. He is still in. He is last in the playoffs, but you never know what can happen here in Michigan.
Well, why don't we talk about those playoff points? Let's bring up that banner, and we can see where the drivers stand.
Sure. So up at the top, you have Hermes Castro with that 1 win. And then behind him, you have the regular season's champion, Joey Doucette, with a comfortable lead over Alonzo King and Ryan Pittman there in 4th. Ian Ogden right there in 5th, as I mentioned before, Harley Barletta in 6th. And then now this is where it starts to get fun. Between 7th place and 11th place, they are separated just by 21 points. That is the difference between somebody having a really good day and somebody having a really bad day. So those drivers need to pay attention to where they are on the track and really need a win. If you're Marco, if you're Mike, if you're Andrew, you almost have to win to get in, to make it into the next round and be just kind of aware of where those other guys are. So it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a very interesting race, a very high-speed race. We've seen some times in practice, Rick, I think topping near 200 miles an hour. So I expect when we get all the field out here, those speeds will just increase just a little bit more.
Well, speaking of that, why don't we cover the keys to today's race, because it's certainly there's a lot of challenges these drivers will face here at Michigan.
Yes, they will. They will face a lot of different challenges here on this track. Like you said, we haven't gone here before, so this is going to be a new way around this track. And so my keys, well, number one, you have to preserve tires. It's going to be fast early on, but later in the runs, you're going to be just searching for as much grip as you can. Tire preservation early on in the run is where I see the first key lying to potentially winning this race. The second, clean restarts. Since the tire fall off is pretty quick here at Michigan, you're going to notice that having a clean restart and getting as much track position on a restart is going to be essential to where you finish at the end of the race or during a stint between cautions or whatever it may be. So you have to be clean. You have to have clean, solid restarts. And third, I expect to see some green flag stops tonight. Even though the anticipation is high, I still think we're going to get some green flag stops, which means you have to have the perfect pit stop. If you don't, we've already seen a lot of drivers practice this. Some of the drivers get a little bit squirrely coming out of 4, but if you don't have a perfect stop, you're going to lose valuable time here at a big track like Michigan. So with that being said, I believe we're nearing very close to the end of qual, Rick, and it looks like Alonzo King has made his way to the top of the board.
He sure has. That's only a handful of drivers in the top 7 broke the 39-second mark. So, but he has actually, Alonzo is tied with Ian Ogden. They both put in a 38.89 time. So, pretty tight at the front, those first 2 drivers.
Here we go. I think we are about to get this field underway. They're lining up on pit road now in that very famous diagonal formation as they do here at Michigan. See Harley Barletta there and the other AJM driver of the 21 of Ian Ogden. There's a 19 of John Ledger as well. Angelin says, hey guys, good luck drivers. Hey Angelin, glad that you're able to join us. And Jason Parker says, good racing all. Absolutely, Jason. Can't wait to talk to you here in a little bit.
So, so look at that. Look at the time with number 2 Ian Ogden, 7 1/1000ths of a second difference.
Absolutely incredible, the difference on that. It's literally the little, a line change of probably a hair or a throttle press down. Wow, a throttle control that was off by a millisecond. It was very close between those 2 drivers, but Alonzo King got the pole. So let's give a rundown of tonight's Tech4Troops Michigan 100, brought to you by Tech4Troops, 1111 Veteran Project U-Haul, and Elite Performance Industries. Alonzo King out front with Ian Ogden starting in second. Andrew Serwick with a great qualifying position of third with Harley Barletta in fourth. And there's Mike Slatker right there in fifth. As I mentioned, he needs to win. He can't win on points. He can't get into the next round based off points. He absolutely has to win. Ryan Pittman there in sixth. Hermes Cash are already locked into the next round. They're in seventh. Joey Doucette in eighth. Jeff Denis in ninth. And Zachary Allen running out the top 10.
All right, sitting in 11th, you've got John Ledger in the 19 on the outside. Luke Bullard in that familiar 3. In 13th position, Pete Woodrum. And on the outside, Austin Armstrong in the 13. Marco Berube is in 15th, and Ty Bosick in 16th. In 17th position, Brad Previtt in the 91, and on his outside, Sean Schupman in the 37. Bobby Gibson in the 28 is on the inside in 19th, and David Watts is on the outside in that familiar 54. William Mann Jr. is at the tail end of the field in the 21st position, that 29, with David P. Sharon bringing up the rest of the field.
Great, everybody making their way off the pit road. Going to get this race underway here at Michigan. Who will it be tonight to lock their way into the next round? You know, with the Christopher Worrell's win last week, that basically secured one driver in just purely on points, because if we had 3 points winning drivers that won the first 3 races of this round, or all the rounds, or all the races in this round of 12, rather, you would have to win to get in, but one driver will get in based off of points. So we'll have to figure out who that's going to be. Who knows? It may be a Mike Slacker that can win it, coming all the way from the back, knock one of those other drivers out in that Mountain Dew Baja Blast, I believe, or is that Mountain Dew? That's Mountain Dew Energy, number 14. But Rick, I think it's going to be a great race.
I think so too. Looking forward to it. Lonzo King is going to be our control car, and he will get this race started. He's got Ian Ogden to the outside. Ian's got his teammate Harley Barletta behind him, and we are about to go racing.
Moment you have been waiting for. Green flag is out here at Michigan, and we are underway in the Tech4Troops Michigan 100. The last race of the round of 12. Who is going to bring it home to secure their spot one step closer to the championship? Alonzo King out to an early lead, getting chased down by Ian Ogden and Zerwick, as well as Ogden's teammate Harley Barletta. They are teaming up together on that bottom line, trying to get around the 43 machine as King leads the first lap of this event. You know, Rick, we're going to see this very close racing probably here for the next 5 or 10, maybe 10 laps, and then you'll start to see this field kind of separate due to tire wear. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if the field separates like I anticipate it, but as it stands right now, everybody is almost single file.
Yeah, and the funny part about the interesting thing about this track is there's no right line. It's really it's the right line for you and how you choose to get around this track.
Yep, and each line will provide a little bit more grip, a little bit less grip, a little bit more of a braking situation, maybe a little bit more on throttle time, and also different tire wear. So you'll see guys at the end of this one maybe riding all the way up into the high line. It's close racing. Mike Slacker into the wall. I believe the 81 and the 14 got into it right there coming out of turn 2. Okay, they keep it going forward though.
Yeah, you're seeing just naturally on this track 2 and 3 and 4 wide. That 14 continues to slip up into that safer barrier.
It's very easy to do, gotta say. It's very easy to do, especially with a track like this. That wall will approach very closely and quickly.
Definitely some tight racing there between the 14 and the 81. The 81 gets by the 14, taking over 4th spot.
Here he goes, looking to...
Oh, the 43
in the wall.
In the wall as well.
Hit. Hard hit. 3 wide in the back. Move forward there.
Yep, the 24 is there as well. Yep.
Oh, another car on the wall. Car wrecking. No caution. We got that live, I believe. That was Marco Berrubi at 99 that absolutely slammed the wall.
Yeah, Marco's a playoff driver. That's the last thing he wants to see. Well, Pete Woodrum dropped all the way down to the apron. And you can do that here at Michigan, but you know what people don't really, they may not realize is that you will scrub off a fraction more tire by dropping onto the apron and then coming back off.
Sure will. And, late in the run, if you try to do that, that may upset your car just a little bit too much. So you've got to be calculating in those movements to see some of these drivers making their way down to the apron. But as it stands, about to be 7 laps in. New leader out front, Ian Ogden, has taken the point from Alonzo King. Can Ian Ogden finally get a win here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series?
Well, he's not going to give it, take that win away. He just had his teammates slip on by him.
Well, every bonus point does matter as well. So him leading a lap will help out with that point situation.
Alonzo King continues to show us the way. We are here on lap 7 of 100. You can see the top 8 are all playoff drivers. That pack is hungry.
Yes, it is. Very, very hungry. They are trying to find a way to the front. Don't want to do it too early and waste some of your tires, but also don't want to wait too long and miss out. But my prediction stands. The field has started to spread out a little bit. You can see the distances there between each individual car as everybody's kind of gotten almost single file around here, except, well, as they go 3 wide back. Missed that one.
Yeah, that's Luke Bullard back there in the back. You got the 29 right there.
Yep.
Oh, that
close racing.
We're keeping an eye on this battle in the back here, as well as what's happening up front. If there's certainly a lead change or challenge, we'll jump back up to the front. But there's a lot of battles in the back. These aren't really for playoff positions per se, but certainly these guys are definitely racing for pride and racing for fun. So,
sure, yes they are. Yes they are. You see Jeff and E there. They're going possibly 3 wide. There's William Mann Jr. as well in that 29 machine. 37 back there.
You get Ty Bostic back in that familiar paint scheme.
Yeah, what an awesome throwback scheme there that Mr. Bostic has. Throwing that back to Gary Labonte car here. The Cup Series. Love that Kellogg's Cornflakes car. Chilling out back there with Bobby Gibson, that familiar Dr. Pepper seat. Outside of Berube, he is just kind of laying back. I mean, it's a very interesting strategy to play. We know he's fast. It's just when will he make his move?
He put up some great times in practice, but certainly here we are 12 laps in. You're not sure exactly what's happening, whether he's got some issues with that race car or it's really just it's really just laps just chewing away at those tires and grip. Well, Alonzo King continues to show us the way here at lap 12 of 100.
Yes,
we're very thankful for all of you to tune in tonight. The Tech4Troops League is also sponsored by 1111 Project, U-Haul, and EPI. And we certainly appreciate you joining us tonight.
Oh, a little bit of a dive down to the bottom there. Or maybe he was a little bit loose and he's giving up almost 2 spots. As the 81 and the 21, both AJM teammates, trying to clear that 80.
Oh, is that close?
Left rear. Alonzo knew what he was doing right there. Great driver. trying to get some side draft off of Barletta.
Definitely trying to get his lead back.
Yeah, I would too.
Oh.
Barletta's in the water.
Contact.
Oh, we're 3-4
Oh.
wide. Oh no! Oh goodness! Okay. I believe that was the 43 of Surwick that threaded the needle there.
He did. There was a little bit of rub, but he worked his way right through.
Look at all those playoff banners. Now, the 43 is a playoff driver. Same thing with the 14. Even though you do not see the yellow banner, they are all playoff drivers. Actually, the fun fact, the top 8 are playoff drivers right now. So, they're all under about a second and a half away from each other as well. So, this is going to be very interesting. Typically, we do see the cream of the crop start to rise to the top of the boards late in, or rather in these playoff races. And right now, you can see everybody for Rudy, Schupman, and Bostic are up in the top 8. Here we go. We got a pass for the lead potentially. Here comes the regular season point champion, Joey Doucette, trying to set his sights on a win here. He is 100% locked into the next round. There's no way he could lose points, but a win would sure bring, close
Contact.
You know, we've seen that multiple times, Rick. I wonder if these cars are just getting tight underneath another driver when they're coming out of turn 2.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me. You're 16 laps into it. About this time or a lap ago, tire fall off has started to take its toll. That last lap with Alonzo King was a 41.05. You know, the best lap here was a 39.13, so nearly a 2-second fall off at this point. So that's significant.
Pass there, that's Barletta and Pittman.
They're keeping an eye on the back of the back. It looks like Hermas Castro is just basically sitting back there, just kind of watching what's happening in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, he's locked into the next round. He's just kind of having a day out there in that. I love that paint scheme. The Owl's Nest Racing black neon color there. I believe that's like a neon green/yellow. See what he's able to do. Go to the bottom side of Ryan Pittman coming up turn 2. Not able to do much, but damage or have an incident or something. I believe, I don't know. Somebody was really off pace there. It may have been David Watts. Not entirely sure, Rick, but looks like everything is clean and green. 19 laps in. We're almost a fifth of the way through this Tech4Troops Michigan 100, and we have been clean and green, which is awesome. So,
Yep, David's he's doing okay. He's just a little bit off the pace at the back end of the field. He's got Marco in front of him. They're both just a little bit off pace.
yeah, well, Marco hit the wall early on in the run, which caused him a lot of damage, which you're seeing that being the culprit of why he is all the way in the back. But good to see David's car under control. Thought I heard an incident, maybe not, but as it stands, a fifth of the way through, King, Doucette, Ogden, Surwick, and Slapker. Slapker needing that win to make it into the next round. And that's a really hard thing to do, Rick, is when you don't race and you miss a few playoff races, you almost have to be just setting your sights on the one that you can make. And obviously, Mike, this is the hit, or for Mike, this is the race that he could make. So we'll see what happens. He's running a strong up there in the top 6 right now, but he needs a win to get in.
Yeah, he sure is. So fuel economy, I think I heard some drivers talking earlier about 28 laps or so in a fuel run. So we could begin to see some pit stops happening here in the next 7 laps.
Yeah, it's going to happen for sure. Because if we do a little bit of math here, let's see, you can make it 28 laps. So there's your first round of pit stops, plus another round of 28. You pit on lap 56. Do 28 one more time. You pit on lap 84 with 15, 16 laps to go. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if somebody tries to short pit either the second stop or the third stop. Crossover move by Alonzo King.
Trying to work his way around Joey Doucette.
He sure is, and that's going to bring the back of this pack up to these drivers up here. 80 slides up the track. Middle of 1 and 2. Here comes 80 again. Riding on board with Joey Doucette. Rick, as I was saying, we're going to see pit stops. If we stay clean and green on lap 28, 56 to 57. 85, 84, 86, around that range. So keep in mind those three numbers there, 28, 56, 84. As we're now 6 laps away from the pit window and action is picked up. Look at Hermas Castro. He has joined the conversation. He's been one of the drivers, Rick. I've been paying attention to him. He's been running one of the higher lines versus other cars here early on, so that may be given a little bit more savings of those tires. He's given Sturrock a big push down the back.
Yeah, he's always been one of those drivers that loves that high line, so it really excels at it, finds a way to make it work in track after track. And Michigan is one where you can kind of flirt with that high line. Not sure you can run it all the time here, but certainly if it's possible, he'll make it work. All right, that's lap 24 complete. The top 8 continue to be those playoff drivers. They are battling for position and swapping leads between Doucette, King, and Ogden.
It's becoming a fierce battle between all these guys right now. You see that tire wear start to play a factor.
Oh,
we'll see. Oh,
Alonzo King kind of came down on top of Ogden. Backed off a little bit. The 25 of Castro re-engaging here as well.
That was a really interesting move, Rick. It's almost like the car got upset, or either he thought he was a little bit more clear than he was. I really don't know. But, we saw this in the race last night with the Super Speedway Kings. A little bit of bump there from the 21 to the 80. Here comes Hermas Castro to the bottom side. Hermas is loose. Here comes the 43. Here comes the 14. Already got a party now.
Yeah, I think with all this battling back and forth and changing of the lines and diving down low, we're seeing some major tire wear, and it's beginning to affect. We've got 2 drivers right now on pit road, William Mann Jr., Pete Woodrum. They're both on pit road now. We expect to see any time now these guys coming down 3 wide. Oh, contact, 43 and the 21.
Yeah, 43 was not clear there. Don't know if Ian Ogden's going to take much of that. He does, and he slides up the track just a little bit to get in front of the 43. But the 43 wasn't entirely clear. Here comes Alonzo King down pit road.
Number of drivers coming down. Bostic took a little trip through the grass, unfortunately not able to get slowed down. And that brings out the caution.
Yes, it does. What do? Do you go through pit road or do you pit?
They're pitting.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, it looks like they're going to pit. We'll see how this shapes out. This may change the entire complexion of the race due to the timing of this caution. You may see some drivers a lap down that typically aren't. We'll see what happens as this all plays out. Rick, let's see if we can get a replay of what happened. We get a first caution of the night right at the fuel window.
That's Austin Armstrong spinning. I think that's what brought out the...
Yeah, and you just saw Ty Bostic just dive right of the pit commitment cone. What a move there by Bostic. He knew that it wasn't going to be good if he went down pit road there because he would have been caught a lap down. So what a move by the 22 machine. We may need to go back and take a look at that really quick because I think he made the move at the last second possible there.
He's out of fuel. He's definitely sputtering. Let's go back and look at that again. We can bring in an in-car. I have a different option here. Let's take a look at this. Let's bring up the dashboard. I'm not sure we can bring up the dashboard in this view. Let's...
Here's the rest of the field down pit road.
This is live. Lonzo King came back in.
Probably top off on some fuel. Well, Rick, it's a caution. You know what that means. Got some more trivia for everybody out there. So this is about the fastest qualifying lap at Michigan. So which driver holds the fastest qualifying lap here at Michigan? I'll give you a little hint. It happened back in 2014, and the driver drove around this track at an incredible 206 miles an hour for a time of a 34.857. That is about 2.5 to 3 seconds faster than what these guys were running tonight.
All right, so as we're getting reformed back up, that issue with the caution has put Alonzo King back in 10th. He is coming back down pit road for the third time.
I guess he's trying to top off on fuel, I would imagine.
Well, if he had stayed off, he probably would have. Well, he just came down. Every little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if he thinks that it's going to be, that big of a deal, I mean, I can understand it.
That's what it was. Fuel only. 4 seconds.
Yep, splash and go.
All right. Joey Doucette is our control car. Lights are off on top of our pace car. If you're just joining us, this is our first caution of the night. We ran nearly 30 laps clean, and except for our driver who was spinning, I think, trying to get onto pit road, we would have stayed green.
Yeah, I think we would have. And I mean, I guess you can kind of categorize those as green flag stops, kind of, but you didn't see the back end of it anyways. We had a long green flag run there. We'll see if we get another one here. As the green flag is about to fly again here at Michigan, and it is out. Green flag racing back out here with 69 laps to go. Your new leader, Joey Doucette, in the 11th.
Oh, Hermas Castro high on the outside.
Oh, a little bit too high there for Hermes. Got in the wall just a little bit.
Little contact with the outside safer barrier. Now these guys are going to have to be a little bit patient. They're now with fresh tires. Got to give them some time to get some heat in those tires. You've got Austin Armstrong up there with the rest of the playoff drivers. He is side by side. Oh, contact. Austin Armstrong with the 81 of Harley Barletta.
We've seen a lot of beating and banging here tonight at Michigan. You saw it then again right there. There goes the 43 right in front of that Superflow Ford. We'll see what happens as they make their way across the start-finish line. New leader, Mr. Mike Slatker. Didn't I mention that I thought he needed to win to get in or something like that?
I think you may have said that once or twice.
Maybe, yeah. He's taken my advice early on. So what a run by Slatker there. He knows he needs to win. So we'll see what happens as this race progresses. As now the driver that is locked into the points is battling him for the lead. Coming out of turn 4, side by side, down the front stretch they go into turn 1. The 14 of Slatker and Castro in the 25.
Little crossover attempt here. All right. Thank you for joining us, folks. Stay tuned. We're going to go side by side. You won't miss a bit of action, but we'll be right back. Stay tuned for a short commercial message.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce. We want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, we are live and back. Thank you for indulging us with the commercial from our sponsor. And speaking of our sponsor, Jason with Tech4Troops has just joined us in the booth. Jason, how's it going?
Not too bad. Good to be here. Thanks so much for having me. It's been a really good, interesting beginning to the race. Starting off with that close call on not going into pit row.
Yeah, we've enjoyed some great green flag racing, lots of action, lots of close action, great passing going on. It's not just at the front. We've seen it all the way back through the tail end of the field as well. So, yeah, good races here. Good racing here at Michigan.
Absolutely. Speaking of the scheme skirmish for the Speedway, there's a lot of cool paint jobs out there today. Just seeing the 13 Superflow car right now, and it's really kind of cool to see the 1111 Veteran Project cars all lined up like that in a row. It's very intimidating. It's a really cool. It's a cool visual all the way around the track, and it's makes me proud to be a part of it. Everybody putting all that work into it here for the playoffs and all that. So I definitely have my work cut out for me on picking a winner for the Speedway this week, but it's a great burden to have. There's a lot of talent out there.
There sure is. Yeah, you can tell these guys put a lot of time. Each week they come back. A number of guys come back with new paint schemes, and you can clearly tell they put in some time. We were just remarking earlier about the 22 of Ty Bostic in that throwback Terry Labonte paint scheme, that Kellogg's car. So, yeah, it's great to watch.
Yes, absolutely. I am a Pop-Tarts fan as well, so that already piques my interest. It's been great talking to you guys. I'll chime back in with my decision a little later.
Sounds great. All right, that's Jason with Tech4Troops. He joins us each week with a paint scheme skirmish that they sponsor for these drivers. And we'll check back in with Jason later in the broadcast.
Yeah, we will. Pop-Tarts. How about the Pop-Tart? I have to go to the store. Sounds really good right now. Jason's making me hungry over here up in the booth. But one thing that I do know, and that I do have with me, is the answer to the question for the caution number 1 trivia question of the night. So the question was, which driver holds the fastest qualifying lap here at Michigan? Rainbow Warrior himself, Jeff Gordon. He ran that lap back in 14, had a 200+ mile an hour time that still stands to this day. Don't know if it'll ever be broken due to RPM restrictions and all that fun stuff here in the Cup Series, but it's definitely it's one of those times that's like Bill Elliott's, you know, at Talladega. It's just one of those ones where you look at it and you're like, wow, cars are definitely a little bit different. If you remember back in 2014, that was right after the Car of Tomorrow, and those cars were just fast. They, especially on iRacing, when you get in one of those, Rick, I mean, it is a blast to run because they run so fast. So, answered the question with Jeff Gordon, but as it stands right now, 41 out of 100 complete. Hermaz Castro still retains the top spot with Surwick Slagler.
Yeah, Slagler still showing in second. We're keeping an eye on this battle because it's tight between Surwick, Doucette. Look at that. Joey Doucette right on the bumper of the 14. Castro dropping down to the apron there, trying to find an extra second or two to separate himself from the 14 of Slagler.
Yeah, it'll work. Got to be careful doing that on the back end of a run because of how squirrely these cars get. Speaking of squirrely, see a couple cars get out of shape right there. They're all driving in the right direction, though. Love that Mountain Dew. Looks cool. They love the bright colors. And this is the battle on the track. I mean, the top 8 have not really been separated by many.
I think the 43 just contacted the wall, shot him really far down, 14 on the apron.
Oh, and the Slagler machine pulls right up in front of the 43, shuts the door. Moves Mike back up to the top 2 position.
So these guys are last in on lap 28. So that's putting it right now. They're around lap 15 laps on these tires, give or take, with that caution. It's beginning to where we'll see a bit of fall off.
Oh, you sure will. It's going to happen. It will happen. It'll happen quick, and it's going to start happening probably right now. The pit window is going to open up roughly between lap 50. Well, let's see. Let's do some math here. 28, so about 56 to 60, I would say, because of the cautions we've had. So we'll see who comes down early, tries to maybe short pit the second stop, or tries to short pit the third. Who knows? Pit stop's coming within the next 10 to 15 laps.
Well, Joey Doucette has worked his way around Mike Slagler and Andrew Surwick to get back up into P2. Don't look now, you've got Barletta and Ogden chasing down from behind, and also Luke Bullard, who's back there. Lap 45 in the books, coming up to halfway.
See that 3 machine of Bullard pushing the 81, trying to get him up closer to some of those lead cars.
That is certainly a risk through that front stretch.
It is, but you can do it. I mean, you can push. Oh, contact between the 3, I believe that's a 21. As they were coming out of turn 2.
Luke Bullard's got a good head of steam as he's working his way around the 81, or trying to.
Well, we've seen Luke do this in previous races. Specifically, I believe, was it Bristol, where he was running down the leaders
That was
towards
last
the end
week.
of that run. Yeah, towards the end of that run. And so we know he's able to save his tires, and we'll see what he's able to do as he's trying to get around that 81 machine of Harley Barletta. Let's see if he's able to make a move now. Going into 3.
Not quite there. The 81 still has position on him.
But the 3 has the run, though, out the corner. See if he crosses him up. No, just shoves him. Just gives him a push.
Well, push, shove.
Hey, 2 cars are faster than 1. Gotta say that.
He's trying to take the high line around.
What that's doing is that it's getting him a run off the corner, which he is getting. I mean, he's pushing that 81 right there. He backed off. Trying to back the corner in a little bit. He's going to go higher. See if he's able to get a better run off 3 and 4 to get around that 81 machine this time by. There it is. There's the run. Great move by the 3 of Bullard.
It's like he's shutting the door as well.
Yep. Great move. Great move to get around one of the best playoff drivers we have in the field right now, Harley Barletta. Well, Rick, we are actually right at halfway. Lap 50 complete.
In the books. This is our third playoff in our round of 12. We've had lots of first-time winners. We've had non-playoff driver wins, and this will determine who moves on to the round of 8.
Yes, it will. We know that 2 drivers will get in off of a win, unless it's Hermas Castro again. We'll see.
But it's
Right
so
now,
tight. Ogden, Barletta, Bostic, Shootman they're above the cut line, but just barely. You've got Surowick, who's currently running right now in 4th. He's up there. And Marco, he's in 11th. He's not that far away, but Marco is currently running at the tail end. He's at 17th position, still on the lead lap, but running in the back.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because Slatker, has to win to get in. So that's one driver that if you finish ahead of, it basically moves you 1 spot up. You don't have to worry about him. And then, Marco all the way in the back, he's got to move himself up to the front before he's going to be too far gone from this situation. So shooting an unfortunate situation with the 37, already 1 lap down. Not sure if he's going to be able to get his lap back, but there's time. I mean, there's a lot of drivers fighting for that 8th spot right now. We won't know until it's done, until it's over, until the points are calculated on who's going to be in the round of 8. But what we do know is that the 25 is going to be there. Doucette is going to be there. I believe Alonzo King as well. They have enough points.
So lap 53 is in the books. We should see green flag pit stop starting sometime soon. We've already got Armstrong, Berube, and Watts in. My guess they're in because they're running at the tail end of the pack. Makes no sense not to go in and get some fresh tires. They've got enough sets in there that they can get some good fresh rubber on there and get back out and make some good times. But in doing so, we're seeing that Joey Doucette has closed that gap on Hermas Castro.
Yeah, that gap has dwindled down just to a few tenths of a second. We'll see if that gap starts to increase or decrease as this run goes on, but pit stops are going to be happening soon.
Well, we kind of saw that a bit last time. Didn't we see that Hermas Castro, the guys up at the front, you know, as they were battling, tire wear was significant, and they were kind of a little squirrely towards the end of that run. There's a lot of great racing happening just here. We're keeping on. That's nearly 4 wide.
Well, we have found the bee's nest.
Yes, we have. Now, Austin Armstrong, he's a lap down, and he's up there battling 43 and the 3 contacts.
Yep, Austin Armstrong was a little bit loose there. I believe that 13 has a little bit more pace than...
Well, he's coming off he just got fresh tires. He pitted on lap 52, so he's out there competing with these guys, and he's got fresh rubber.
Yep.
You know,
big push to the back of Sherwood.
Well, you know, and frankly, he's got to be a little patient with these guys.
I mean, just look at the difference. I mean, I know some of these guys may be going down pit road.
Oh, that's Hermas Castro on pit road. Mike Slagter, Surwick.
Yep, there's Bostic exiting pit road. William Mann Jr. exiting pit road. Cycle has started right between 56 to 59. We're on lap 57. Green flag stops. Who is going to be the best on pit road tonight? We shall see.
You know, that allows Alonzo King. He came in that late stop. He's already up to 4th with these guys dropping out, and that puts him at least 1 or 2 laps to the good. But now they're in. Joey Doucette, Harley Barletta, Ian Ogden, Alonzo King, all coming down onto pit road. This will complete this round of pit stops with these 4 guys. We're keeping an eye on their times. Harley Barletta out to 15 seconds.
Where is that going to put Austin Armstrong?
Alonzo King.
Lead,
yeah, Alonzo King took a little bit longer on pit road, nearly a full second longer than Ian Ogden.
That's going to cost him some time right there.
Yeah. That puts him back in 12th. We'll see what happens at the timings at the line. But your leader right now, Austin Armstrong, who pitted on lap 52, but he's got right behind him Hermas Castro, who's fresh off pit road, fresh tires.
Right there, the difference between just a few laps on tires. Castro able to zoom around the 13 of Armstrong. Well, you know, Rick just poses an interesting question. How long can that 13 hold the lead if he comes down pit road a few laps sooner versus the other drivers? I mean, he was out there for a good 5 or 6 laps. Now, it's going to be close because the fuel runs about 28 laps, so expecting some pit stops around lap 84 to 88. Don't know if he's able to hold it, but he could possibly somehow squeeze out a great finish here at Michigan.
So he's got Mike Slagger banging on his back door. Mike also made that pit stop at 56. Further on back, Zach Allen is back there currently in 4th in that 24, but Zach pitted on lap 50, so he's off cycle. Both him and Austin Armstrong are slightly off cycle right now for pit stops.
You know, it looks like the stronger strategy, I think, is going to be pitting a little bit later, so you could have those tires at the back end of a run. Oh, there's a move from Mike down to the bottom side of 13. Oh, a little bit tight there off the corner.
Yeah, so
I think it's
that plays into Alonso's position, I'm guessing, because at that point, here he is trying to work his way back up. He's driving around Pete Woodrum. Pete Woodrum pitted last on lap 49, so he's got the oldest set of tires currently right now on the track.
Wow.
So right in front of Alonso. Oh, there's contact 37.
And we're wrecking.
Sean Shipman was definitely involved in that.
John Sage just went from bad to worse.
Yeah, not a good day for that 37.
You know, another driver on the playoff cut line.
Heavy
Needed a strong
damage.
run tonight.
Heavy damage to the right side of that 37. Oh, it's not even his fault. Unfortunately, that's the number one of Woodrum who tags the safer barrier. Right there, deflecting him down into the right side of the 37. And more contact, unfortunately, for the 37.
Just nowhere to go. I mean, you're just wrong place at the wrong time, and fortunate there for Sean. Hopefully he's able to get back up in the race.
All right, lots of drivers on pit road, and we're going to take this opportunity to take a commercial break. We'll be right back. We'll see you soon. Hold tight.
Veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers to get back in the workforce. We want to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome back. Lap 64 is in the books. This is only our second caution.
Second caution.
Second caution of the night here at Michigan. If you're just tuning in, where you been?
Yeah, really.
You've missed some great racing, but we anticipate some more as we're just 37 laps to go here with the Tech4Troops Cup Series. This is the last race of our first round of 12. This will cut that down from 12 to 8. The guy who needs to win this race is who is up front right now. That's the 14 of Slagter. He needs the win.
What a story that would be if Mike can come in here and get that victory. You know, I mean, he's the only driver outside of maybe Berube that absolutely needs to win here to move on into the next round, which Berube's made his way all the way up to 7th now, so we'll see what happens. But really quick, before the caution goes away, I have another track fact / trivia question. So, which Cup Series driver holds the most wins at Michigan? That is your question. Not one that I would think.
You know, for me, my Michigan memories are always about Ernie Irvin.
Yes, exactly. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I remember one that sticks out in my mind was when Dale Earnhardt Jr. won in that black Batman paint scheme back in the mid-2000s. I believe it may have been 2012. Can't remember exactly, but that was definitely an iconic win for Dale Jr.
Yep,
So,
absolutely. No, it's a great track. I mean, the Penske family has been involved in its revitalization. It's just I find it to be a relatively tricky track for its length. It sometimes drives like a mile and a half.
It does, but it has the speed of a super speedway. It's very interesting
All
how
right.
it works.
So the 14 is in charge. Slagger leads him down through the Geico restart zone, and we are back to green flag here at Michigan.
34 laps to go, 35 laps to go.
We are 4 wide in the back. Look at this, folks.
Yeah. Wow. Take a screenshot of what you're seeing right there, because I don't know how long they're going to last like this. Cars going everywhere. You know, I mentioned in the pre-race, restarts are going to be key. Well, you're seeing super speedways for our restarts as we make our way down to the turn 3 and 4.
Man, your head better be on a swivel as you're working your way through that kind of traffic.
Absolutely. Looks like
Keep an eye on
right
the 25 behind the 40 of Nani. He's got the 29 of William Mann Jr. in front of him. So if you're a lead car and you have to wrecking.
Big wreck in the back. That's Nani. That's a 25 of Castro.
Oh,
God, Dick Watts. Oh, and Ryan Pittman.
And Hermas Castro also in that wreck.
Yeah, well, Castro is moving on in the next round. We don't need to worry about him.
Fair.
No, I'm joking. Still, big hit. That happened right in front of Castro. I believe Nani got a little bit loose and tagged the wall, which started that debacle. Even though Nani's car looks fairly clean.
It does. Let's go back and kind of take a far chase shot, see what we see here. He's in the wall, but the 25 is right on his quarter panel. Oh, the 25 tags him.
Yeah, I mean, that was just not a lot of room for the 25 to go. I mean, and then nowhere for Pittman. Big hit.
Woodrum.
Big hit by Woodrum. And look at Bostic. Bostic squeezing the way through there. We made him go.
Oh, the 28 too. 28's trying to get around. What's a 28?
Oh, he tags the wall.
24 as well. Taste that Zach Allen also impacted the wall.
Oh.
David Watts was in. Austin Armstrong, the 13, came down. Pit road, 33 laps to go.
Yeah, this is right at that fuel run. You cannot make it to the end from here. You have to come down one more time.
Hermas Castro did not come in. I guess he's got to feel that his car is okay.
I guess. I mean, he took a pretty hard hit. I mean, it may be fine. I mean, he may not have any front end damage. He may just have some rear end damage from getting completely just demolished from the oncoming traffic.
I don't see it. Looks pretty clean.
Interesting.
We'll take our trick cameras here, see what we see.
He's got it. He had to have come down pit road and gotten quick repair. There's no way he doesn't have trunk damage.
He may have come down while we were... No, it shows him last in at lap 63.
Wow. Well, sometimes you're lucky, I guess.
Yeah, he looks good.
Rick, what this is going to do is this going to make the end of this race very interesting, because you're going to have drivers who did not come down pit road and drivers who did. You're going to have drivers that are going to be coming down pit road with just 3 and 4 laps to go, versus drivers that are going to come down pit road with roughly 10 to go. So really, it's going to be an interesting call.
You know, you've got to answer a question from the previous yellow flag and get another question out.
Oh gosh, I totally forgot. So, who holds the record for the most wins at Michigan International Speedway? David Pearson with 9 wins. I'm going to throw it right back out to another statistic. Who has led the most laps in Cup Series history here at Michigan International Speedway? Thinking the same, let's say the same era of NASCAR. Let's just give you a little hint there. Same era, not David Pearson, but think same era. The most laps led.
All right, lap 70 is in the books. The lights are off on top of our pace car. 31 laps to go, and Mike Slagner continues to hold that lead.
He does. He's going to be clawing his way for every single inch he can get in front of these guys to bring home a win, to make himself locked into the round of 8. But don't look too far back, because you have Serwick, Doucette, King, Ogden, Barletta, Bostic, playoff drivers looking to get into the next round.
Let's hope we get a better, while it was exciting, a little safer next few laps. All right, green flag. Slagner leads him down, but he couldn't get away from those 11 guys. They are right on his tail. He got no gap. Alonzo King, contact right there with the 80.
Yeah, big wreck.
Big wreck.
Big wreck in 1 and 2. He got turned. Alonzo got turned. I saw 22 of Bostic get involved. Gosh, it's not what you wanted out of these drivers. There's Jeff and E going backwards. Couldn't tell where he was going.
Alonzo King, Bullard, Bostic, Allen, Nini, Armstrong, all involved in this last wreck. Okay, so
it was definitely that bottom car coming up, I believe. I mean, we watched that live.
That's the 21 of Ogden. Well, let's back that up just a little bit. It looks like they were both looking at the same spot. 80 comes down. He's crossing the right now the pavement groove. 21's coming up a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's a mix of both of those.
Yeah.
And Alonzo tried to save it. I mean, he tried. He got then tagged by the 19.
But that's Ledger, and then there's the 3, and they're both spinning and collecting. 24 collects the 13 and the 22.
A hard hit.
And here comes the 40, and I think he is not able to. Let's go back at the 40.
Did he get clipped?
The 24 backs up into him.
No. Oh, gosh. You think you're clear, and then you get clipped.
You're cleared till you're not. So this sets up an interesting strategy. With 28 laps to go.
Exactly.
That's a fuel run.
It is. You know, I would take the chance of coming down pit road as many times as you can and topping off on fuel until you get the 1 to go sign, because you will technically have 1 lap under caution. You would be 1 lap to the good, technically. But still, you still have to save fuel. You may see some guys, this thing goes green, this may be a repeat of what happened at Charlotte a few years ago back when, was it Dale Jr. that was about to come to the win and ran out of gas and Harvick won? Yeah. Yeah, you may see a lot of cars run out of gas here. So
So, so John, who has led the most laps at Michigan?
Oh, yes. We're getting so many quick cautions, don't have time to think of an answer or get the answer, get a new question. So, Cale Yarborough has actually led the most laps at Michigan with 1,300 laps led. So, now I got to get another question because I was not expecting this. Okay, got another one. Okay, let's see. In what year did Michigan International Speedway start constructing? Basically, when was the groundbreaking that took place at Michigan? What year? What year did they start building this magnificent 5-lane speedway? Don't think you can go 5 wide. You can definitely go 4 wide. But what year did they start manufacturing? You can't manufacture a racetrack. What year did they start building a racetrack? Wouldn't that be crazy? You have a huge facility that just pops out racetracks, kind of like those removable football fields.
Well, they sort of have it down to a science with their methods for paving.
They do. I mean, they can pave anything you want.
All right. 27 laps to go. Lap 74 is in the books. Harley Barletta, Mike Slagter, that's your front row on the restart. Now, Slagter's got Brad Previtt behind him. And the 99 of Marco Berube is up front as well.
Yeah, Berube basically needs a win to lock himself in as well.
Here's an interesting fact to keep in your mind. Mike Slagter did not pit. He came in last on 56.
That's risky. That is very risky, but either way, we're about to get the green flag, and it is out. Green flag racing again here at Michigan. 26 laps to go.
Slagter's going to need to come back down one more time where a lot of these guys are done. I mean, he's going to come down in the next 10 laps.
I don't think he wanted to lose that track position.
Yeah, but
he's just banking on another caution to come out.
I guess, but these guys all have fresh tires, and he doesn't. It's not even about fuel anymore. He's going to cycle back.
Yeah. He is. I mean, you see some cars coming up pit road right now.
That's Bullard, Shootman, and, Armstrong's in the pits getting repairs.
Oh, contact between the 81 and the 99. Berube's like, excuse me, I'm trying to win my race so I can go to the next round.
Berube is out in front.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of a driver who's actually going to be retiring at the end of the 2020 Cup season, Kevin Harvick. They always seem to find their way to the front of the pack when it matters most. You know, Berube and Slagter have both been some of those drivers that have had good runs and progressively made their way up through the season in a good fashion. And here they are running second and third when it matters most. So we'll see who's able to get it done. Both drivers needing a win to make it into the next round.
99's not giving up. He wants that lead back. Working his way around the 81. So, John, what year did they start building Michigan?
1967. That is when this track was first constructed. We have 4 wide. Hello. 4 wide.
No one
have like a 4 wide alert or something, like a little alarm that goes off every time it's 4 wide. Oh, tight racing.
Tight. Oh, car on the wall. That's an 11-11 driver.
Yeah, who was that? Was that the 21?
I think that was the 21 of Ogden. He's just blinked.
Oh, no. No, that wasn't
No,
the
it
21.
wasn't.
That was the 11. Was that the 11 of
Joey
Doucette?
Doucette, yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at that. It looks like his car is just disintegrating.
Coming apart,
It looks
yeah.
like
No, he's got connection issues.
I've never seen that on the blink
Well,
before,
look,
Rick.
and look who's up front. Alonzo King has found his way back to the front.
Where did he come from? I mean, I don't even remember him being up there. He's back up to the top spot.
22 laps to go. And unfortunately, Slagler is beginning to really cycle back. He is now back in 11th position.
He be safe? No, he can't save gas. He's got to come down one more time. I mean, if I were him, I would come down pit road now.
Yeah, sooner than later.
Yeah, save the track position.
The problem is, the challenge that they face is it's from start of your stop to back out onto the racing surface, it's going to cost you 40 to 42 seconds. With a full stop, 45 seconds. Well, you're going to get lapped because it's a 40-second trip.
Yeah, that's the risk you take, and you know, with these guys being so close, I mean, within a lap of being to the good or not having enough fuel to make it to the end, it's definitely going to be a gamble to see what he does. Bobby gets a little close there.
Well, he last pitted on 56. So with 20 laps to go, that means that's 80. So he is right now at the end of his fuel window, for sure at the end of that tire.
Yep, about 84 is when I would expect him to come down pit road. We'll see if that trend is true.
The 91 of Previtt right there. Oh, Berube is up high, almost in the wall.
Yeah, Berube's fallen off as well.
Oh, close with Woodrum. Jeez, there's a lot of action back here at the mid-pack. Another interesting fact here is that William Mann Jr. is up to P2. He started 19, 21. So I think he started in 21st position.
Wow.
He's picked up 19 spots.
What a run that would be, because that would be a win for a non-playoff driver, which means somebody else is getting in off of points. So could we see a round where we have two non-playoff drivers win? Maybe. This may be it. But right now, Alonzo King is still making his way out front.
With 17 laps to go. Also, don't look now, Hermas Castro has made his way back up to 5th after that incident.
Well, we know Hermas, he can drive the wheels off these cars, and he's not afraid to put his car in position where others wouldn't. So we'll see what he's able to do at the later stages of this race. He is the one driver that we know for sure outside of Doucette.
So you've got the 11-11 guys right there. Barletta, Ogden, and Ledger. That's 4 wide, nearly.
Yep, a new leader, William Mann Jr. out front in the Tech4Troops Cup Series in that number 29 Camaro.
And don't look now, there's all that drama happening behind you. Surwick has a major challenge on his hand from that gaggle of 11-11 drivers. 15 laps to go here at Michigan with the Tech4Troops Michigan 100. Thank you for tuning in to the IWM broadcast. We certainly appreciate you watching. We ask that you like and follow whatever stream you're watching, our YouTube channel or on Facebook or Twitch. Tell your friends, tell your neighbor, tell the guy next door to tune in to some great Cup Series racing here with the Tech4Troops each and every Wednesday night. You still got 3 or 4 more weeks before you see it with the regular season NASCAR guys. You might as well join us here in our playoff race.
Yeah, absolutely. We have 3 more races. That would be the round of 8, and then you have the final championship race here in 4 weeks, which is starting right up to the start of the regular Cup Series schedule, so you don't want to miss a beat. Really close racing there by the number 80 of King, and here comes the 43 of Surwick. Surwick needs a win too, Rick.
Tight racing.
Hey John, hey Rick, it's Jason from Tech4Troops back. Was going to go ahead and make our pick for the paint scheme skirmish for the Speedway for this week. That's
absolutely.
All right with you,
yeah, sure. What you got?
Fantastic. You know, there's been a lot of cars out there that kind of piqued my interest, but I've been going back through who's already won it, so I wanted to spread it around a little more. But that's how great they've all been. I had to see. It's been such a contest. But for this week, I'm a big fan of the two-tone scheme that's going on with the 37 car, and that would be Mr. Shootman, I believe, if I'm saying that right.
You are, yeah. Sean Shootman. We can take a look at Sean right now.
And that is just a really dynamic paint scheme. Of course, it's rocking the standard Tech4Troops branding to it, but that really draws the eye. And he had a little bit of an incident earlier on where he was bounced into, but at the very least, it caught my eye, so he gets to be Tech4Troops winner of the scheme skirmish for the Speedway this week.
All right. There you have it, folks. Sean Shipman wins this week's Tech4Troops Speedway Skirmish. Tech4Troops offers that each and every week to these drivers based on putting together a creative paint scheme, and we appreciate Tech4Troops adding to our, not only sponsoring our event, but these little things keeps the drivers fresh, keeps them competing for something each and every week. So there you have it, Sean Shipman here at Michigan.
Hey Rick, it looks like the viewers want to go back to the battle for P1.
All right, we're headed back up front.
Yeah, and it looks like, yeah, I just got to throw that in there. I was don't want to take away from Sean at all, but that was a funny comment. I thought he was like, mate, we don't care about the livery. Look at the battle for P1. So
I'm guessing that is someone overseas watching our contest tonight.
Yeah, awesome. Love it. I would love to know. I'm going to assume Australian because you said mate and livery. But you never know. But yeah, we're back and watch that battle right now for P1. Still out front. That number 80 machine of Alonzo King.
And that front four has kind of shaken up a bit. Alonzo King, 8 laps to go. Ian Ogden on his tail. Andrew Surwick, who also needs a win. William Mann Jr. right there. And Hermas Castro is your top 5.
Rick, we've said this all season long. When is Ian Ogden going to win a race? It may come today. It may be Ian's day here in the Cup Series. I'm not sure if it will be, but this would propel him into the next round.
It's going to be close. Alonso's trying to hang on, but he's got that threat behind him. They are going to start running up on some lap traffic soon. Mike Slagner is, unfortunately, he is that last car on the lead lap. He did take that pit stop. He came in at lap 88. Also, Harley Barletta just came in and just headed back out. 6 laps to go.
6 laps to go. And Rick, just to put this into perspective, if Ian Ogden wins, which he is now only 10 points away from that cutoff line, he will be locked in.
The real, absolutely, my concern is right now, as they're getting closer to lap traffic, they've got to make some clean passes to get around these guys. And avoid the opportunity someone's going to use one as a pick.
Yeah, it's going to happen here. There's Hermes Castro again, trying to make his way around these drivers.
Don't look now, the 81 is right under.
Get 3 wide coming out of turn 2.
But Barletta was in. He went in for a full pit stop, so he's got fresh tires. But he's trying to get his lap back.
He is. He's trying to get his lap back with 5 to go. Who's going to be able to make it on fuel to the end? Not sure. But here comes the 21 of Ian Ogden. There's his teammate Harley Barletta there in the bottom, not battling for position.
No, he's just trying to get his lap back, and it's going to be potentially. All right, he drives cleanly through. That's great.
Pretty easily done there by the 81.
We're continuing to watch the 80 of Alonzo King leading this race here at Michigan. 4 laps to go.
That gap is slowly starting to increase between the 80 and the 21. Coming now 3 to go.
Yeah,
does the 21 have anything for him?
Well, you're at that point now where you've kind of taken the shine off these tires, and now you're just getting into normal wear and tear. They pitted last on lap 73. Now you're into that middle period on this with this rubber, so it's going to be hard to gain anything on Alonso. He's got that line he has been repeating each and every lap.
He sure has, and the interesting thing here is Ian Ogden, as it stands right now, would be locked into the next round. Andrew Surwick would be locked into the next round as well due to Sean Schuman's falling out. So, this could play major playoff implications for some of these drivers on back. Ty Bostic, another driver, needs to have a good day on the cutoff line. Same thing with Harley Barletta. Rick, I think the playoffs may look a little bit different after the race unfolds. Obviously, we won't have the full point standings. But what we do know is that the gap has now started to close up with coming to 1 to go here in the Tech4Troops Michigan 100. I think the 21 may have been saving something for the end.
He sure has. Also, they missed the 25, has gotten around William Mann Jr. in that 29.
All right, folks.
He's making a run. Not much time left here. Final lap here at Michigan. You can see 25 has thrown it out there. Can the 21 catch the 80? Just 2 turns to go.
Here we go. Here comes Ian Ogden and Alonzo King down into turn 3 and 4. I don't think that 21 is going to have anything for him. Alonzo King wins.
Oh, what is that?
What? Never mind.
He's out of fuel?
He's out of fuel. Andy ran out of gas. Ian Ogden won the race.
Ian Ogden wins. Ian Ogden wins. The 80 is out of gas.
Oh
At
my
the
God.
line.
You could not get any closer, Rick. You, literally within, I mean, hundreds of feet.
Let's watch this back again. Let's go inside. Let's see if we can hear that engine sputter. We're riding in with Alonso.
Oh, you can see right there. Look at it. Just dropping RPM. I mean, I have never seen it be that close, Rick. In
500 feet.
Watched. I mean, that is one of the craziest finishes I have ever witnessed. And I bet Alonso King.
Look, he's getting a push by the 37.
What a valiant effort there by the 80. I mean, he had the strategy. It was just a few hundred feet short, and there's your winner. He's burning it down and disappears, and I'm speechless. What an incredible race. I mean, the end of rounds always produce amazing races. And what was the margin of victory there, Rick? Was it 1,000th of a second, 100th of a second, 1/10 of a second? Let's see.
0.138.
Wow. Well, folks, this is your official finishing order for tonight's Tech4Troops Michigan 100. By the hair of his nose, Ian Ogden wins his first race here in the Cup Series with Alonso King in second, William Mann Jr. in third, Andrew Surwick needing the finish he needed to potentially make his way into the next round, finishing in fourth, Hermes Castro in fifth, John Ledger in sixth. What a run by Jeff Nani in seventh, Bobby Gibson in eighth, Ryan Piven in ninth, and Ty Bostic rounding out your top 10.
In 11th, Brad Previtt. 12th, David Watts. Mike Slagter finishes in 13th. Harley Barletta in 14th. Pete Woodrum in 15th. Marco Berube in 16th. Luke Bullard in 17th. Joey Doucette finishes in 18th slot. 19th is Sean Shipman. Austin Armstrong in 20th. Zach Allen in 21st. And David Sheeran in 24th. All right. We have got some guys already in the booth, ready to go. Let's bring in Mr. William Mann Jr.
Star.
Congratulations, William. Great run, great finish.
I appreciate it, man. It was a blast.
It was an exciting race. We had a blast calling it.
Yeah, I started at the bat, man. Had to go back twice.
Yeah, I mean, you picked up, you came back, you picked up, I guess you started 21st, and you wound up 18 plus 18. My guess is you may be in line for that Hard Charger award.
I think you have to qualify, and I bumped the ready to race, so I think I lost that.
Gotcha. Well, heck of a finish. You picked up a lot of spots. Certainly a late race charge, and you were definitely up there.
Yeah, I just try to run it smooth and not burn my stuff up there at the end. I'm pretty good at my fuel mileage, so man, I always have a blast running these guys. I wish I'd have started at the beginning of the season to see where I could have done with the playoffs and everything, but man, you guys put on a great sessions, great broadcast, man. It's just fun to either watch or be a part of.
Well, we've enjoyed watching you race here tonight. Certainly, especially at the end there, where you saw Mr. King run out of fuel with 500 feet to go. That was close.
Yeah, definitely. Like I think it was Hermes behind me, and I saw him have a good run, and he kind of checked up. I said, Ian, don't be behind him. I said, I think he's going to run out of fuel. So I think Hermes is kind of struggling. And then I saw the hiccups. I was like, go out. And he pulled up outside of him. And yeah, that was an awesome drag race there at the end. See him finish that way.
It sure was. Well, hang on. Any shout outs tonight you'd like to make?
Man, the Tech4Troops guys. I mean, your broadcast is, top notch, man. One of the best ones I've ever seen. Man, the average Joe's Motorsports guys should let me kind of be a satellite guy joining them guys, even though they're Toyotas. Our family business as always, man. Man's maintenance. Pay to play,
Got it. Hey, well, hang around. We're going to bring the rest of the guys in. We're going to move Mr. Alonzo King here to the
Oh,
broadcast
goodness.
booth. Alonzo, oh my gosh.
What's up?
So close.
Missed it
So
by
close.
this much.
400 feet, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was over the broadcast. I thought you had that, and then I, for some reason, noticed that it looked like I don't know, something out of a bad remnant of Dale Earnhardt Jr. running out of gas at Charlotte. I was like, oh no, he's out of gas. I mean, you had the strategy, but it was just so close. Gosh, it was crazy to call. But give me a rundown of your race about what you saw the last couple of restarts. Making that decision that almost won the race.
The big thing was like the last restart, I knew I had the tires and stuff because, I did a lot of calculating whenever we did that first pit stop. And I was like, I can really run this car harder, And so I was like, if I can get up near these guys, I got them. I was like, I'll just hit the outside, just roll it. Then I got in the lead and I realized like I'm a lap short. I was like, this ain't going to work. So I kind of 3/4 throttled it and let William get around me. And I was trying to just draft off him, but he wasn't running the line that I needed until we were hitting the straightaways and going down in the corners. If I'd have ran his line, I'd have just ended up burning up my tires. So I was like, well, and I kept calculating. I said, I'm good to go. I was like, I was 1 lap to the good. Then I got back out front and it was about 5 to go. I looked over. I'm like, yeah, this is going to be really close. Then when I got in when I hit the white flag, I looked over and it said 0.9. I was like, oof. I was like, well,
Yep.
all or nothing. Let's go. So
Well,
P2 ain't bad, though. I'm
no,
happy with it.
P2 is awesome. And certainly at this point you're locked into, certainly for playoffs and looking forward to the round of 8. So
Oh, yeah. Gain some points. That's what I needed.
absolutely. So any shout outs tonight, Alonzo?
I want to give a shout out to Dark Tempest Motorsports. Give a shout out to you guys for this broadcast. It's amazing every week. Big shout out to Elliot. This is a fun league. It's awesome. Love it to death. And my Veterans Passion. So.
All right. Well, hang tight. We're going to stay with us. We're going to bring our winner in 1 second. Ian Ogden, congratulations on your win.
Oh, crap. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Well, you're joined here in the
It was,
booth, not just with the broadcast team, but also along with Alonzo and William Mann. We do that each and every week to keep the 3 guys together here. And tell us about what you saw as you're coming. You're there at the last lap. What were your thoughts?
Well, leading up to that, I was pushing really hard to get to Alonzo. And I noticed if I backed the corner up just a little bit, I could get a run down the backstretch. So the last 2 laps there I did. Luckily, I was able to get down the backstretch, and get into 3 and 4 decently close to him, close enough to be able to capitalize on him running out of fuel there. A lot of good hard racing tonight. And we finally did it.
You
I
did.
feel like I've been a bridesmaid all year. So
Yeah, I made that point so many times, and I think I don't remember if it was maybe 5 or 10 to go. I said, "Is this Ian Ogden's day to finally get it done?" And I thought you had a secured second spot until something I've never seen happen as close as it did. Unfortunate with Alonzo there, but you brought home your first win, and well deserved. Like you said, you've been running up front all season long, and you finally got one in a way that you probably didn't expect it, I would imagine.
not at all. But I'll take a win any way I can get it.
Yep. Yeah.
Holy cow! I'm still riding a wave here.
All right. Any shout outs tonight you'd like to make and with your victory?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, my teammates, Joey, John, Harley, Mr. Mann Jr. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. Christopher Howe, as much as, unfortunately he is no longer with us. But he definitely helps, and he definitely showed me some tricks and tips to save tires and save a little fuel every now and then. So I've got to thank him as well. And then 1111 Veteran Project, they always always support us. Got us some really sweet new paint schemes for the playoffs. Racing for Heroes, Average Joe Motorsports, and Alonzo as well. You know, I got to thank Alonzo. We race each other pretty hard every week, and you know, I think there's a little bit of respect there between us, and I look forward to it continuing.
So next week starts our round of 8. A couple of you guys will be there for that in the playoffs. Obviously, everybody will still be there, but you know, we're going to Pocono. Pocono is our round, the first race of round 2. That's always been a challenging track.
It's a fun one.
Not a Pocono fan.
Says everybody seems to love it here, I guess. So
Yeah.
it's a fun one to call because a lot of it is, if it's green flag, the strategy is going to play such a major role into that race. So I'm looking forward to Pocono. I think it's going to be a very interesting,
Can I give a shout out
first
to
round.
Ian that he forgot?
Uh-oh, did I forget one?
Yeah, man, you forgot karma. You wrecked me and still win the race, brother.
So let me give some other news here. So according to Elliott, our commissioner, William Mann Jr. wins the highest finishing non-playoff driver award and the 11-11 Vets Cleanest Driver Award.
Oh, yeah.
Heck
Awesome,
yeah.
guys.
John Ledger wins the second highest finishing non-playoff driver award. Bobby G wins the IWM Hard Charger Award. So some great awards out there. Not everybody's in that P3, but there's a lot of things to be handed out. A lot of awards we handed out here as part of the Tech4Troops Cup Series. So, guys, we thank you. We look forward to seeing you next week at Pocono and that round of 8.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate what you guys do.
All right, thank you. So thank you, folks, for tuning into the IWM Broadcast Network. We appreciate you watching each and every week. As we said before, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbor. Please tune in. We look forward to seeing you next week here on Wednesday night with the IWM Broadcast Network broadcast of the Tech4Troops Cup Series. Have a great night.
Absolutely. Have a good night, guys.
All right.